what it is, what the point of this is. So,
she definitely spends time trying to figure it out, but she doesn't waste time. She pulls back. I don't think it's surprising to hear that I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at.
that's to be expected. What do you think you're looking at?
I think at that, I think Hawk would try and take a peek.
You take a peek at it.
This thing is glass, like it looks like.
You don't have alchemist supplies, definitely, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's what I thought. Roll me your nature at disadvantage.
Okay.
You said that she could discern pieces of the brush.
You see, like out of game, you see like the hairs of the brush, and you see the orange pieces that he somehow managed, almost like caramelized apple, managed to like peel off it just by brushing onto it, and that is wrapped around the hairs now. Right, in a manner similar to a caramelized apple. Whatever concoction he just used, it's acidic enough to melt and peel away the material.
Yeah. I think she'd say as much, just I think that's pieces of the brush, and you took some of the, looks at it, dagger off?
That is correct. Now, having seen it up close and personal, what do you believe it might be? It is clearly a meltable material, although that's not saying much. A lot of things in the world are susceptible to acid. I can tell you a free hint that it is organic, but not the way you might think. Or perhaps it is. We'll have to find out. It is a crystalline structured material, hard, similar to glass. In your own knowledge, what do you believe organic, he wags a finger at you, can produce something like that? Or what material is it?
Would she know what pine resin is?
Oh, absolutely.
I have limited knowledge on what that is.
That's fine. You're not your D&D character.
Yeah. Would that make sense for her to guess?
I think so.
Then she would guess it. Is it like pine resin?
Very, very close. Not quite there, but very close. There are certain... It is resin. That is 100% true. It is hardened resin. This is a term you might not have heard before, so I will give you that clemency. This is amber. There appears to be some bug in my ear.
Oh, he's not calling me a stud muffin like the last one.
Enveloped in this ember.
Mosquito?
Miskibidi?
No, too far! Too far!
I could hear that hesitance to say that. Don't say that shit. Would you have heard of amber before? I
can see
don't know a
either
lot about
yes
amber.
I can see yes or no.
I think from an alchemist coming from like the very wooded, jungly environment, I feel like it.
The thing is, sap in like human environment plants are different, right? Like you could cut a vine in the Amazon, drink water straight from it. It doesn't have sap; it just carries the water. So we'll put it to a roll. Roll me your nature.
Okie dokie. Nature, roll it.
That's pretty good.
You have heard of amber before, although making a weapon out of it—that's definitely unheard of.
Is it made out of amber, or is it? Sorry, before she asks that, would it wouldn't make any sense to coat something with amber, would it?
With you wouldn't be able to coat it with amber because amber is like the solidified part of it. With resin, yeah, you would probably have to imbue some stuff into the resin, or otherwise it's just sticky.
And would she have any concept of this?
Yeah.
Okay. She would clearly recognize that term and be like, "Oh, of course." Looking at the dagger, does it look like it's made out of it or covered?
It's made
or coated?
entirely out of it. It's not translucent like the amber from Jurassic Park is. It's very opaque.
Yeah.
But you can, in theory, see through it. You could, if you put your hand to their side, you could see like the shift in light and stuff like that.
Okay. So I think she'd be a little confused at the idea of a weapon and tilt her head as she looked back at it and say, They made a weapon out of amber?
A specific type of amber, a specific type of plant sap. But yes, from the looks of it, this is egonic amber. Don't worry, I'll type it out for you guys.
Egon.
Thank you.
Curse
Egon.
you, man!
Or agonic? Egon? No, I'll say Egon.
No,
because it's so
egonic.
funny.
No, egonic now because it's funny.
This is egonic amber. It is a very rare material, not naturally occurring fully. It is the culmination of different types of tree sap brought to a certain temperature and combined with a certain type of alchemical compound that is commonly found in a car derived from different insect. He just keeps going.
She
He's
is
reading
doing
the
her
Wikipedia article.
absolute best, even if she doesn't understand it, to follow the thought process.
Sure. Roll me your intelligence.
Okay. I will roll my intelligence.
Yep.
Hey! Hey!
Okay, so allow me to slow it down for you. This is Egon. This is not what he sounds like, but this is how
Yeah.
you're able to keep up with him. This is egonic amber. It is a culmination of different types of plant saps that are thusly combined with different compounds commonly found in Makar, derived from the crushed materials of toxic insects and other anthropodic creatures located there, commonly sold there and consumed there. From there, it is brought up to a certain temperature and applied a certain ritualistic wild magic component, which I am not fully familiar with, but can derive in due time if necessary. Regardless, the egonic amber is a relatively hard resin material that is often associated with ritual purposes, so it is not surprising to me that it is cursed.
It was made and discovered in Makar?
As far as historic, he slows down now. Now he's normal speed.
Yeah.
To everyone else, he's normal speed. As far as my knowledge, yes, it is historically based on Makar. The purpose of such, I can't tell you. As far as I am able to discern, or have heard, or have researched, it's not based on the Laughing God.
So what was it typically used for?
As I said, ritualistic purposes. This one is cursed. It is not naturally cursed. It is naturally susceptible to being made cursed, but it is not naturally cursed in and of itself. No more so than a particularly deadly rifle is cursed.
Is that something that they can do in Makar?
Cursed objects? Oh, certainly. The sacrifice of vitae or other healthy measures, or soul or spiritual or magical measures for greater lethality. That certainly happens all the time in Makar.
She wouldn't know what vitae is, would she?
Ooh.
Laudanum vitae.
Roll me your alchemist supplies. You can use your wisdom.
Ooh, okay.
Aqua vitae.
Well,
It sounds familiar, but you can't quite place it. Unless you want to use your inspiration.
no.
It hasn't been going so well. Yeah, it sounds familiar, you just can't quite place it. Whatever it is, it was both prominent enough for it to be specifically noted, but so high up, upper div, or rare, / rare, that you didn't have the need or the capacity to study too much into it. Right? It's like, oh yeah, it's a quantum particle. Okay, yeah, let me just hand you the quantum particle we have on. No, that's not how it fucking works. Right? It's like a theoretical thing, which in this case is as theoretical as quantum physics, but it's like, you get what I'm saying, right? You've heard about it. No one just makes it to experiment with.
I've heard of that, but I don't remember what it is. Vitae.
Yeah, it depends on the school of alchemy you're taught, I'm afraid. There are different styles, or takes rather, on the substance. Regardless of what it is an alchemical culmination. Produced, how to say, unnaturally. It is an artificial substance. The proper concoction itself. The source of it is utterly organic, which is why it is an interesting substance. Taking something from life and creating something false from it. I won't get into the nitty-gritty of it. That might be a point for a later time. But regardless, it is also a catch-all term for vitality. It is from vitae that vitality as a word comes from. Well, I don't know what this does, but don't tell me, not yet. But I assume it will perhaps eat away at flesh or suck out blood in accordance to its attacks, its strikes, and things like that. This one in particular, I think it saps away at a bit more than just the physical vitae.
Does it store anything?
He shakes his head. I'm afraid not. While I might transfer some modicum of that to the wielder, it itself is not a battery.
That was my next question. Does the person holding it get anything from it?
It does, although I imagine it probably eats away at their sanity and things of the sort.
Is that to an upside?
Well, the upside is you would be able to collect tithe from your strikes with it. The downside is you're condemning yourself to a slow and agonizing death.
She
But
nods as if this is
sure.
what she's asking.
I'm sure for someone in Makar, that last catch is irrelevant. Life expectancy in Makar is rather low, after all.
Not high.
For what means would it sap your health?
That I'm not quite certain on, not until we test it on a live subject, but I assume that no one is willing to be a volunteer for this. I'll do it. Ted holds up a finger. He's an idiot. He says, looking at you two.
But he is also a willing volunteer.
I think it'll be fun.
You
Fun.
think pain is fun often?
Roma's not Kirsty's not here, but Roma is here, and Roma last night might have an understanding of that. She doesn't say anything. Are you any form of mage or spellcaster? Nope. Perhaps you're not a suitable test subject then, if I'm reading off of this correctly. Hey, here's an idea. Nova just sort of chimes in. What if we just not test it? Right? I think that's a logical thing to do. Not test the cursed weapon that might tie itself forever to the wielder to a slow, painful, and agonizing death. Just saying.
But then we're
Ted
not
nods.
going to learn anything.
Ted nods. That's a really fucking good point. Yeah.
It'd be better to destroy it.
That's
It's a D4 damage die.
the dagger. Yeah, it's a D4.
Yeah. It's a bit of a downgrade, but
The thing is, you'd have to attune to it to get the full benefit of it,
yeah,
right? Which is where the problem of a cursed weapon comes in.
yeah.
What levels remove curse? Just asking for a friend.
The friend is you soon.
I think it's 3rd level.
Yeah, so
It
like
sounds
9th
right.
level for most casters. Wait, no, 3rd.
Oh,
you gotta-
what?
No, I'm crazy.
No. It should be like 3rd level spell.
It's a 3rd
Well, no.
level.
It's a 3rd level spell, but like, when do you unlock 3rd level spells usually?
Level 5.
5. Oh, I was completely
Next
wrong.
level.
9 would be for half-casters.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a shame that you guys don't have any full casters in the party. It's almost as if the setting bars it slightly. That's crazy.
Oh, it's Sorcerer nerfed, is that what?
Sorcerer technically no, Sorcerer wasn't nerfed because that was Fred's clause
Oh, but
for
they also don't get removed curse, right?
it's a Cleric ability, I believe. But he has Cleric spells of Divine Soul, so.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You would have to take it.
There's another curse that that sorcerers will have. A D6 hit die.
Yeah. On the other hand, like, there's the spell remove curse, but there's always sort of like, oh, this is not your average curse. This requires more, which I think is not really fitting.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out. Just kidding, don't.
JK.
Why not though?
What do you mean? Just kidding, don't.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Just rip off the mask and become a pig. Easy.
I don't think there's much upside in tuning to it, if I'm being perfectly honest, but that's just me speaking for me. If you guys are in such desperate need for deadly armament, then by all means help yourself and just don't come crying to me to pull anything out of your head again.
He coughs awkwardly.
If we left this to your care, would you be able to remove the curse, purify it, or dispose of it safely?
Dispose of it safely, absolutely. As for the other aspects of it, I'm afraid not at current able to do that.
Well, regardless, I don't see any of us chomping at the bit to take ownership of it. So I'll leave it to you.
Very well. He takes it and puts it and it's like sealed container for itself. Like someone collect the evidence at a crime scene. There we go.
Hell yeah!
Thank you, Grover.
He nods. To the people that aren't Falk and Dahlia, what's your guys' passive perception?
Not the highest, but let me check real quick. There we go.
Mine is yeah, here it is.
There we go.
And then Top is listening, and he's not at his station, which is fine.
Let's see.
Let me open up his sheet. B for
We have
Badger.
guidance to our pets.
What the fuck?
He has a 14. I'll say to Jin, you seen out of the corner of her eye, know who's still working on her suit. Just gets this like very like knowing smirk on her face, but she doesn't say anything.
Do I notice this since I was moved closer to her to look at her
That's a good
working?
point. Yeah, I'll give you advantage. That's a equivalent to a +5. You see it as well. 18.
Jin does not know what this could possibly mean.
That's crazy. So,
If any of you ask to find out.
anyways,
Maybe, but I'm hanging out with a goblin.
so that is your point addressed. Congratulations. He says, looking to you, Dahlia. You now know the concept of egonic amber. Interesting material. You might even... I've heard tales of some very, very failed experiments out in Makar where they tried to use it to make constructs and things alike, but it didn't turn out well. Surprise, surprise from Makar. Their technological R&D is rather limited, to say the least. As for my point with you, he points a finger at you, Falk. I've been chipping away at some research, and you'll be happy to know the results. With the gracious donation of the Zemkelian palm, he rolls his hand over at Dahlia.
Give him a nod. I was wondering about that.
Let me know, you gave that to him earlier today. So, yeah, it hasn't even been a day yet. He already found his fighting first. It's pretty fast.
At this point, she's just kind of like rolling with the punches. She's like, this guy seems like he could do like a lot.
His answer's crack. Moving on.
Whoa. How can I learn this power?
You go to the Arc Empire. Oh, wait, that's meth. My bad. Anyways.
Started to Breaking Bad, start making
Meth?
meth.
What? Okay, meth.
Heisenberg. Anyways. You'll be happy to know that I put it to good use. There are some pieces inside it that I was quite curious about. You say you claim to have had the Zemkelian palm for basically the entirety of your stint in Velkester, the grand city of it. Given to you by Roma, he gestures in Roma's direction, and it was given to her by a mystery man.
Nod.
If this were some sort of cautionary tale, I would recommend that you not do that in the future. But we are reaping the benefits now, so therefore we cannot use that as an assumption. Moving onward, he gestures at this. He gestures at a container which has the palm in it, but it's like split all the way open. Like it's open in every possible direction for the not the what's it called? The casing of it, the pomegranate. And you can see a lot of it has been excavated out, but there's still some seeds in there, like a handful of them. Well, not a handful of pomegranate seeds, but a small peppering of pomegranate seeds still inside of it. And there's one thing that catches you both immediately as you guys look at. Because a pomegranate is purplish red. More red, I guess. Right? That's just what color pomegranates are. And that's the same case for the Zemkelian palm. As weird as the Zemkelian Peninsula is, it doesn't change the pomegranate colors. The bastards. The thing that catches your guys' attention is that there's red sparks inside of it.
That's the sound Hawk makes, as well as me.
Germinating fungus.
Do you say that?
No, because I don't think she'd know what that means, would she?
Maybe not the term germinate, but you would know how fungi reproduce. Spawning, probably the best word for it.
Sprouting.
Sprouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd say something along that lines. However, we could make it work within her knowledge.
Sort of. He gestures at you. It's not quite sprouting yet, but it's. He does it just like a bit of a wave of the hand. My findings, my research wasn't about that in particular. I was inquiring upon. He sort of slows down for a second. Miss Irina's disposition. You and I, all of us, have already spoken on her remains. He gestures at the mushroom sample, which is still there. He
Mhm.
points at it. And how disconnected it is. Again, like any other mushroom, does not have knowledge of the rest of it once split. Even magical ones like these. However, Zamkilian Palm, as you already professed, he gestures at you, Dahlia, has the ability for expansion of one's abilities, physical health, physique, things like that. It could be twisted to make it grotesquely so, in the form of some sort of mutagen, but it also has the inverse effect, or the true original effect of healing. The physical body does not just grow without the soul and spirit inside it growing with it. There are such cases documented for that. They are not pretty, but they do happen. But that is not the point of this. I hypothesized, that due to her prolific nature, Miss Irina inadvertently or advertently latched some spores onto you, and thusly onto the palm. As I described before, it was not hermetically sealed. It was not sealed from airflow and things airborne. He wags a finger at you, Dahlia, and in this case, that was to our advantage. My theory, and it is proven true, he points at the container with the palm in it, that she managed to infect, he does air quotes around that, infect the palm, and thusly has some of her residual particles in it. Since the palm itself is liable to healing or expanding one's own vitality, the spores latched onto it benefit from that property, and as such, he gestures at it again. There is some part of her that still resides in these spores.
Yes! I was gonna look at Falk to see how he's taking the information. How, if she can discern how he's doing. How excited he is.
He's got the brim of his hat low. You can't see his eyes, but you don't need to know that he's tearing up because he says, "That's great news."
I thought you might think that. And I prepared for the occasion. He reaches underneath his bench, so on his side, so you can't see underneath it, and produces a handkerchief and puts on the table between the two of you.
It's not even on there for a full second before Falk snatches it up and says, "You know everything, don't you?" and then his eyes.
It's my winning trait. It's the only one he's got. Ha 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 ha! And your sense of humor is yours. That being said, let us begin dashing your hopes with reality. This is a good first step, but this is not by any means the full reconstruction of Irina. But it does implicate that there is a chance. But a chance is better than 0%, certainly.
A chance is all I need.
I'm going to continue my work to see what our next steps are. But this is a good first step. And thusly why I wanted to see you about it. We might need more samples, of which he shakes his head. I do not know where we could source that from. Another aspect that I would recommend pursuit on is revisiting Velcaster, what remains of it. From the accounts I've heard, she managed to shield you from the violent burst of the Blood Star. There may be some residual samples there. It will be finding red sparks in an ashen field, so it will be a very hard task, if possible at all. It very well may not be. The third step, I'm still pursuing. Third avenue, rather, I'm still pursuing. I'll let you know if it's viable.
Yeah.
I've also got some old samples I took from Irina. They're did and crystallized. She'll pull out the dead mushroom trimmings and her blood that I got that crystallized. So
That
I
might
don't
be
know.
a start, although they do look a bit expired at this point.
It's been
but
a
anything
while
can
since I
help.
got them.
He holds out his hand to receive them. I'll take them, give you back the containers, as alchemists always do, and we'll see what I can do.
She nods.
He does it all in one fluid motion. Grab, extract, implant in a different container, sterilize your containers, and gives them back to you. It's
She's like, whoa, he even cleans them after.
yeah, you know how he cleans it? He holds it up for the Magimorph to put its tongue into. And then he just hands it. I guess he would clean the outside too. So he just throws it up. The Magimorph bites, quote unquote, bites it. It
Like a
swishes it
hamster.
around in its mouth and then plops it back in his hand. No saliva or anything. It just takes it. It's very weird. It's like, oh yeah, let me wash your dishes for you. Holds it down for a dog to lick clean. Right? It's like that energy where it's like, what the fuck? And so he hands it back to you, quote unquote, sterilized, but it's a weird thing to exchange. Almost like watching Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle eat eggshells, when I think about it. Moving on, though. So, Grover is going to see more specimens is better. I'll determine the validity of these specimens at a later point.
Mhm.
Going back to Velcaster is a prospect. It might be worthless, right? Again, it's a not sterile environment. It is immensely volatile for any samples that are in there. But if you guys can get, because spores are thousands, right? If you get one spore, that's still a sample you can use. So, to be determined. To be determined. As for the third avenue, he's double checking it before he says it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will tell you right now, if you guys do go to Velcaster, we roll for it.
Yeah.
And it's not a 1 in 100 roll.
Oh,
1,000 roll.
Probably something like that, yeah. Everyone gets a roll. Everyone will probably get a roll, but it's like, you guys had to hit such a small grade. Like, a minutely small grade.
It's not
You have to roll a
impossible,
10.
but it's probably
Impossible.
improbable.
You guys need to find the red spark in 1,000. AK, you need to roll a nat 1 out of the D1000.
if we do go,
Oh my god.
Getting closer.
we
getting
should
pretty close.
see if there's any way to make something that can attract spores or something like that to vaguely improve our odds.
It's a point of like, is the spore alive at this point or not? Because again, it's so.
Yeah.
It's been a week, more than a week now, because you guys have had a couple of days here at Kravos. You guys had to travel back, which I guess with Nova isn't too much of a prospect, or too hard a prospect. But it's like,
That's true.
did the spore survive its golden hour? Which is a term for people. If you're injured and live beyond another hour, you're probably fine. That first hour is where you're most likely to die. So that's like what it's like for the spores. If it lived past the golden hour, it's probably alive to right now. The thing is, it had to survive a nuke, so it's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Anyways, I digress. Meanwhile, while the findings of Irina's future are being discussed, Karadok, I believe you're going over to Nova. She's still giving Snyder remarks on her own, but she's Nova, so she always gives Snyder remarks. That's just what she does.
That's why we love her.
Oh, you did.
There's a lot of things of why I love Nova, but I digress. Yo, how's it hanging, Karadok?
Well, I suppose. Well,
She lifts up her goggles. Actually, no, she'd probably be working sort of hazardous material if she's making metallurgic tweaks with it. So she probably has a mask on, like a gas mask. Lifts up her goggles. Pulls down her gas mask. Ugh.
to be honest, I
So-
never asked for a second opinion on that.
She tilts her head. On...
How it hangs.
You fucking dumbass. You know what I mean.
Yes,
Should
I
I
do.
talk to Taylor about that? They'll ask you which way to dress. She does a conspiratorial wink, which is actually something Taylors do, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But seriously though, what happened if she throws a thumb over at the goblin who's apparently like at this point awoken and is just eating a sandwich given to him by Badger? He looks like a fucking chibi fucking animation. Like a fucking hamster eating a seed.
Stop trying to make him cute.
Well, some of us wanted to.
I want to invoke that cute violence or whatever the fuck it's called.
Cute aggression.
Cute aggression. Yeah, I want to invoke that. What can I say?
Oh, they're so adorable. I want to beat them to death.
Gouge his eyes
I
out.
already want to beat him to death, so you don't have to do that.
We can do both. Cutely beat him to death and normally beat him to death.
Beat you to death cutely.
Nova.
After some debate, we decided to not torture the goblin to death, though he has been cooperative and informed us of an encampment to the south, 20 strong, that needs to be dealt with. So I suppose that is our near future plans.
She quirks an eyebrow and gets a smirk on her face. 20 goblins strong.
Indeed.
Roll me an insight check.
Does she think that's truly strong in any way?
Yeah, if you want to roll it, you can roll it too. Like, I don't think it's mentally taxing to keep tabs on a goblin that sat on his ass eating a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, Jin's babysitting duty.
Yeah.
We will have the same roll, please. Thank you.
19 for both of you. There is like some element to Nova that finds it oh so amusing. Like, oh, a goblin camp 20 strong. Not because it's goblins or because it's 20 strong, but because like she's used to dealing with threats that are way bigger prey. So there's this almost like distance she has for your guys' antics, where she's just like, "Damn, that's crazy."
That's wild, man.
Like
That's
she
crazy.
doesn't demean it. She just realizes like she's just in a different league, and it's if there's something about that tickles her mind. 20 strong, huh? Yeah,
I suppose that's puppies to you.
Puppies or not, every threat's a proper threat, right?
They also had 2 wogs.
Ooh, oh no.
Jin laughs at that. Like, oh, that's fair. Nobody kills puppies. No.
Come on. So, what do you guys got to do? Frontal assaults, trap them up, overwhelming force and firepower.
That's probably the option I would go for, but I think Eva and Folk have different strategies in mind, honestly.
Oh, yeah? What are they
Can't wrap
reckoning?
my hand around that. Oh, you know, sneak thievery and assassination, that sort of thing. Skullduggery.
She quirks an eyebrow. Are you Lonian and advocating for sneak thievery? She looks over at Eva, who just sort of is like looking around the place. I see nothing wrong with effective use of tactics. She like Nova not squints her eyes, but gets like this like half-lidded eye expression of like oh, I know what you're doing, little bitch.
I see what's up. I see what's good.
Where are you from, Eva? I'm from the road. I'm not fully Eulonian, only half. Oh, that makes sense. Alright, Eva, good luck. Good fucking luck. God.
She rolls
Oh,
so
no.
bad on these.
Oh no. Would be...
Wait, did she just have a 9? Am I stupid?
Yeah, she did.
Huh.
Would be 13.
There was never a shot. She never had a chance.
Right. She doesn't say anything beyond that, but Eva definitely feels like she knows. And just turns her
For some
attention
reason,
away.
it reminded me of the Oran High School Host Club light bulb scene.
Oh, yeah! Right. Well, I'm sure your free roamer brain is all good on jumping the goblins. Good luck. I doubt you'll need it, but good luck anyways. We appreciate that, Nova. You appreciate me so much. We do. For all the help I give you guys. We do.
Yes.
I do so much for you guys, and I never ask for any help or any payment.
Okay, what do you need?
Right. Nothing. I just thought we're friends is all.
Oh, I see. He's not gonna say anything.
Hold on.